G'day guys, welcome back to another video. Just in the shed tonight. It's just hit winter, she's bloody cold, and that means one thing, it's time to get out there and start chasing those big cod. Video, I just want to go through a question I get asked a fair bit, and that's how I connect my line to my swim baits. Specifically swim baits, but it can be for all types of lures, hard bodies, top waters, all that type of stuff. Probably the only thing I wouldn't tie this way or attach this way is a spinnerbait, where you want a direct connection to your lure. So what it basically is, so I've got a swim bait here. I'm going to go through 3 different ways that I do it. The first way, which most people would probably know, is just your standard loop knot. So I just got a bit of leader here just to show you. Loop knot, pretty straightforward when you're tying a loop knot. Just put a loop in your line with my swim bait here, through, and then back through your loop that you just created. This is 40-pound leader, I think. So the heavier the leader, the less times you need to loop it back on the line. So I'll go 3 or 4 like that, and then back through the loop that you created. A bit of saliva, and that's that one. So trim that down. That's obviously massive. I've just rushed that, but you get your loop knot a bit smaller if you wanted. Doesn't really matter. And that loop there is not going to let you down when you're cod fishing. The biggest thing with your swim baits is you don't want a connection going straight to your toe point. So some swim baits and other lures, it won't affect it that much, but there is some that will really affect the action of the lure. So not having a free connection, which the loop knot or the other methods I'm going to show you offers the lure. If you tie something like a blood knot that goes directly straight to your toe point, can just affect the action. So to make sure when you're using your swim baits and other lures, especially hard bodies as well, you don't want a direct connection. You want something that lets the lure freely swing and gives it its maximum action. So that's the first one. Now, that growing up is exactly how I fished all my lures for Murray cod. But recently, with the last few years, really getting into cod fishing in the winter when it's freezing cold out there, early mornings, it becomes a pain in the ass if you want to change lures and you got gloves on and you got to try, you can barely feel your fingers and you got to take your gloves off to try and tie a loop knot. So basically what that means is a lot of the time you won't, I wouldn't bother changing my lure and I just keep throwing the same lure. And if you don't have a heap of rods, you're kind of restricted to what you got on. So to combat that, I started going to the Mustad fast attach clips. Now, I get asked this a lot, what size do I run? The size I run is a size 4 in the fast attach clip, which is 100 pound or 55 kilo. Now, some people don't like to use clips, and I can understand that you can see it as a point of weakness, but I've caught a lot of fish on these and a fair few big fish over the last few years, and I've never had one of these clips let me down. So I have heard a couple of bad luck stories, but myself personally never had one fail, and the majority of people I fish with all use these nowadays, purely because it just gives you the availability to just quickly change your lure over. You can keep your gloves on when it's freezing cold and just go change from swim bait to swim bait, easy as, and it takes seconds to do it. So easy, and just, it makes life a lot easier when you're out in the water when it's freezing cold, or even just any time fishing now. Like in the middle of summer, I'll just have one of these on, just change your lures over and over, and you don't have to sit down and bug around tying loop knots and whatnot. Now, the knot, I have said this before, I think in a previous video, but the knot I tied to these is called a polymer knot. It's going to be hard to see in this, but I'd recommend if you want to learn how to tie the knot, just type polymer knot into YouTube and watch a video, or even just into Google, and learn how to tie it. Basically, you loop the line back on itself, go through the eyelet, and then with the 2 strands like that, wrap it round, and then you go back through. I know you aren't going to understand this because it's going to be very hard to see, and then you pull it back on itself, like so. Get your pliers. Just get the other end. Get your spit. And that's pretty much it. So that's the polymer knot. That's how I tie these. You can just go your standard blood knot or something like that, but I've just found that the polymer knot's the best knot to tie with these. Super simple, and it's never let me down. I have had blood knots pull out on me in the past. You can do an improved one, but when you're getting up in these higher litres, you know, 50, 60 pounds, tying blood knots can get a bit hard, and I'd prefer to go the polymer knot. So check that out. I think you spell it Polymer from memory. So then you got your clip, size 4 fast stage clip, and it's literally just get your swim bait, clip, and the swim bait's on. So it's just so simple. When you're out in the water, clip, and your swim bait's off. So that there, pinnacle. It's free again. It's not restricting the lure's action. The swim bait can do its thing and attract those Murray cod in. So that's the fast stage clip. Now the last one I'm going to show you is what I don't do. You know, at the moment I just purely run the fast stage clips, but if come to a period or a time where I did lose faith in the fast stage clip, maybe I lost a big fish on one or one let me down, what I would go to, and what I know a lot of people do is go a solid ring onto a split ring. So basically a solid ring, you get your solid ring. What have I got there? I've got Optima. They're an 80 kilo solid ring. You're not going to break if you've got it's only a little 80 kilo solid ring, and a Murray cod is not going to break that. And then you just go a split ring onto your solid ring. So you attach your solid ring to your main line. Get your split ring, if I can do this. Then you got your split ring. The split rings I'm using, I've been running these for a long time, are Maria's. Maria size 5. Fighters ring H. Size 5, 130 pound. Get them from Outback Angler in Dubbo. And I use them for all, so if I want to upgrade me terminal tackle on the swim baits, use them to attach your hooks to your lure. Then you've got, I'm not going to tie it on, but you've got your main line goes to your solid ring, and then that goes to your split ring. And then when you want to change lures, you basically you've got to have a set of split ring pliers on hand, but you just get your split ring pliers and put the split ring onto your attach point of your swim bait. So again, when it's cold or whatever, you can do it with your gloves on. It's not too hard to do. And then basically you've got your attach point, split ring, solid ring. So then every time you want to change, it's literally just get your split ring pliers back out, take that split ring off, and then put the split ring back onto the toe point of another swim bait or another lure. So that's a simple way of doing it as well. That there is probably the safest and the strongest way of attaching your lures, but it just takes a little bit more time than your fast attach clip. So a lot of the guys, you know, up north are chasing GTs and all those saltwater pelagic species, that's the way they go. But personally, I haven't found a need to go to it yet, so I just stick to the fast touch clip. But if you want to be safe, you're chasing those big dogs, and you want to make sure you've got no doubt that something's going to let you down, then I'd recommend that. But I haven't had one of these fast touch clips let me down. Now, again, fast touch clips, mustard, size 4, one thing, if you do catch a few fish on the clips, always test them. Normally after 2 or 3 fish, I'll chuck the clip out and put a new one on. You know, they come in packs of 10. They're $6 or $7, so they're cheap as chips. So a few big fish, don't risk it. Chuck them out, put a freshie on, and you're good to go. So that's a couple of ways to attach your line to your swim baits. I've got a few, as I said, fair few questions about, so I thought I'd just do a quick little video to address it. I hope you guys got something out of it. And yeah, I guess I'll see you in the next one. I'm going to be getting back on the water chasing big Murray cod very soon. So keep an eye out for the videos. Cheers, guys.